The United States has seen how far technology has come, and advanced technology will continue to make our constituents' lives easier and our country better. However, the Department of Veteran Affairs, along with many other government entities, are struggling to keep up with the modern times and the technology that provide in the private sector that companies can utilize there. Back home in Tucson, I met with a local American Federation of Government Employees union in March and learned about the complexity in the claims process and the innovation being done in the private sector to help veterans within this claim process. I know that the dedicated men and women at the VA are working to help our veterans, but outdated technology and, quite frankly, bureaucracy serve as roadblocks for those who put their lives on the line for this country. But unfortunately, it seems that some businesses have built a business model based on bureaucratic incompetence. And that was my takeaway from this meeting. So as we're looking at the investment in veteran affairs, you may know this, I'm also in the appropriations committee. So my questions are very interested in the investment in VA here, making sure that our veterans have the right tools and that there's the right accountability on those resources as well. So Mr. Tiaz, based on the Veterans Benefit Administration 5-year modernization plan, the Department of the VA is requesting $125 million to modernize the va.gov platform. How will these changes to va.gov improve the veteran-facing aspects of the website and specifically the benefit claims? On the same vein here, requesting also $36.5 million for improving its national call center. So I'm very interested in seeing not only anecdotally how this will improve, but how will you keep track of this and what's the accountability that these funds will actually produce the results that you're intended for them to produce?
Thank you, sir, for the question. The enhancements of the va.gov portal are really important to veterans because it allows them to interact with us better. It allows them to do more work with VA, exchange information with VA, submit more claims through the va.gov portal, and more importantly, allows us to deliver more information to them as well, such as decision letter download, which we had delivered last January. So we will continue expand on that, expand on the ability for the veteran to choose their mode of communication, whether it be a text, email, or whatnot. So from our perspective, it has a better experience for the veteran, and automation is a factor in that too. And I think when you think about automation from the veteran perspective and the employee perspective, it really just creates a better experience altogether when we can have those pieces. And so we measure that by the usage of the tool and then the success of the implementation of that, measuring along the way. I can't speak to the NCC directly, but I'll have to get your response to that for that.
Thank you. I would like a response to that. When we look at, as I mentioned, at these investments that we want to make sure that our veterans are taken care of, we've pledged to hold the line on the resources here to Veteran Affairs. We want to continue to make sure that these funds are being used for its intended purpose, but also that they produce the results that we need them to. So can you, and I've got another question that will probably change topics and take a little longer with the amount of time we have left. I just want to dig in a little deeper on this conversation. If you can just go a little, again, a little deeper on how the results would be measured and what would claim success with these resources? What would you say that's exactly the intended purpose and that we can claim success? And how long do you think that would take us to get there?
Thank you, sir. I think one way I would measure success is more claims submitted through va.gov than paper. Right now, even though we are seeing an increase in veterans submitting claims through va.gov, we still get a fair number of paper. And I have to convert paper, I have to scan it, I have to digitize it, and that's not always a perfect thing. And so I would say one way we would measure success there is more veterans are using va.gov. I would also measure the success of the interactions with the number of veterans that use the site for those tools and resources, such as the number of decision letters that are downloaded and accessed each month. So we have a number of those metrics to measure the success of that, to making sure that veterans find trust in the system and that they're finding it useful and they'll keep coming back to engage with VA that way as well.
Well, those are good, Mr. Tiaz, and I agree with them. One thing that I keep hearing is the wait time on these claims. Obviously, the paperless claims hopefully speed up that time, and the wait time for our veterans keeps on reducing. That will be a measurement that I will be very interested in you pursuing and tracking so that we can make sure at the end of the day we can make all these changes from paper to electronic, but if the process is not sped up and our veterans are waiting the same amount of time for whatever other reason, then I wouldn't call that success. So in my mind, success would mainly revolve around the wait time that our veterans are waiting for these claims. I yield back. Thank you, Chair.